day, freaks. I'm here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lift, and I'm going to be continuing on with that BROADscope 2023 prediction series, and we are going to read for the sign of Cancer. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, or strong placement in the fourth house. You might find resonance with the message being presented here. Keep in mind, I'm reading for a collective, so a lot of different energies can come in. That means there can be multiple stories. Tap into the overarching themes, tune into your intuition, see how it applies to you. You are the expert when it comes to your life and deciphering these messages, all right? I'm just funneling through what wants to come through. And somebody out there needs to receive it, okay? So take what applies to you, discard the rest, flip-flop roles as you need to in terms of gender or which side of the fence you're on in a situation, okay? Do you understand cross-watcher energy can come in? Cross-watcher energy came in last night, big time on the Gemini read. Capricorn just kept inserting itself in the conversation. You may be dealing with a Capricorn. You may be dealing with a Gemini for that to come up for you, Cancer. But just understand when a cross-watcher energy comes in, it's really there to highlight it's there to highlight the presence of a very strong forward energy in your situation that needs attention, needs awareness around, and understanding how to best work with this energy, okay? Because there's something that's kind of in your space. It can just be you're holding on to old experiences related to a cross watcher, and that gives you just kind of a little clue about where you maybe need to clear energy if that's the case, like why is this person still coming up in my read, okay? Might be something you need to clear in your auric field. So there might be something that you're trying to clear. I don't know, that might be coming in for you. We're going to dive into it though. I am going to do a read for this one where we're doing a layout with the zodiac wheel spread, okay? So that's going to look at 12 different houses, 12 different areas of life, so we can kind of get a clear view of what's coming in for you in 2023. And then at the end, I will pull a theme card just to kind of create a sort of overarching storyline to what the main work will be, the main focus in 2023 for you, all right? Bottom of the deck energy, we got judgment, okay? This is a really solid way to open up with just the foundational energy of how you're closing 2022 and how you're getting ready to move into 2023. Really, really potent here, okay? This means that you've really done the work. You've exercised wise choices, and this has worked to your advantage. I think you're in a place right now where you can rest for a bit. You can just sort of drink it all in, integrate the experiences of the past year as you prepare to enter the new year. This also shows a balancing of karma, and that where you do have some things hanging in the balance and you're wondering how they're going to turn out, we know that judgment's in your favor. All right. This means you did good, man. You did good. Okay. So nice positive way to start this out. I'm going to start shuffling these cards. I like to shuffle on camera. It takes about 5 minutes. I will put timestamps after this airs so that you all can jump ahead if you wish to do that and just get straight to the read. But sometimes channeled messages come out while I am laying out the spread. So, it's up to you. You can jump ahead or you can stick with me through it. But let's just dive in and see what's coming in, all right? So what is coming up for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, or loaded fourth house in 2023 for the area of themselves, how they're going to be feeling as they enter 2023, and what kind of energy they're going to be in, what their focus is going to be. Tell us all about Cancer in 2023, how they're going to be kind of presenting themselves to the world, all right? That came out as a kind of a crossing influence, okay? So there might be some choices to make. You might have some feel like you're kind of at a crossroads in 2023. It might be a very important year for you where you have some big choices to make, some big decisions to make. That's just an initial hit I got there. What's coming up for Cancer financially? What's going on with the bag for Cancer in 2023? What's coming up for Cancer financially? What's going on with the bag in 2023? What's coming up for Cancer financially? What's the money look like? What's the money look like for Cancer in 2023? What's the money look like? Show me the finances. I think you've got some things to work out financially. You might be, going through some old records, kind of trying to spot spending trends so you can see where the leak is, and kind of stopgap that. Ooh, that flipped up right there. Oh, yeah, I think this is something definitely coming to the floor. We'll touch on that. I'm going to get all these laid out first, all right? Definitely something to overcome in this area of spending, all right? Communication, what's coming up in the area of communication? All right, that was pretty quick. And a crossing influence. Okay, what's coming up in the area of home for Cancer in 2023? What's coming up in the area of home for Cancer in 2023? What's coming up in the area of home for Cancer in 2023? What's coming up in the area of home for Cancer in 2023? What's coming up in the area? Okay, all right. Got quite a bit going on at home. Definite shifts there, okay? And that's your foundational house, all right? It's your house, the fourth house. So there's going to be something happening, on the home front that definitely needs attention in 2023, okay? Now let's look at earthly pleasures, romance, creativity for Cancer. That sweet stuff in life, the playfulness, the fun, all that stuff. The simple pleasures. What's coming up for Cancer in 2023? Oh, I'm being guided to use a different deck. Okay, which one? Which one? Yeah, all right. Going wild card style. Super awesome future was calling you, okay? You might be dealing with a lot of zombies. You might be dealing with a lot of people from your past. Maybe you have to deal with these zombies before you can move into that super awesome future. Maybe that's what's holding your pleasure back. Maybe you're revisiting some old flames. Maybe you're reminiscing. It's coming up since we did get guided to change decks as we moved into this. Please, for Cancer Collective. Come on, Cancer Collective. Give it up. Give up the goods, man. That's what it flips out. Maybe you feel like somebody needs to give up the goods. Maybe you're like, where is this romance, man? Where'd the romance go, man? What happened here? That might be, something that's coming up for you. You might be more focused on money, stability might be more important to you right now. This just kind of coming in with that abundance on the bottom of the deck energy there. What's coming up in work and routine for Cancer? Okay, that came out quickly. Oh, that's kind of nice. Cool message to get there. Okay, what is coming up in the area of love? Committed love relationships, marriage, serious partnerships. It can be about business, but it's a stretch. It is the house of Libra, so it's more about loving connections, commitment, union. If it was business related, it'd be like something that's like like you're launching like you know a nonprofit or something, like you're releasing an album and you're signing a deal, something like that. It's like more creativity based, more bringing beauty into the world based, more something that really comes from your heart, something that's purpose oriented. Okay. So that must be coming up for some of you, for me to feel like the need to kind of express that there. So let's see. Then we want to look at the area of sex, your sex life, any kind of occult pursuits, and as well as the areas of death and transformation. Good old house of Scorpio. You may have been dealing with a Scorpio. Scorpio Venus I got strong. Maybe Scorpio and Venus. So Venus rules Libra and Taurus. Maybe these are all figures in your situation, people who've been involved in your situation. Maybe these are people that are going to figure prominently in 2023 as well. Whoa, okay. I would say so. Okay, we got a lot of crossing influence. You may be wondering what's going to happen here, pan out here, just as initial. I think it's like a dot to be continued situation there. That's what it looks like. Okay, let's look at the area of travel and expansion and spirituality. Travel, expansion, and spirituality. Travel, expansion, spirituality. Travel, expansion, spirituality. I don't know, you might be rethinking some trips. Maybe you have been planning some trips that you're having second thoughts about. This might be related to finances. Let's see. So some change. Come on, man. What's up? What's coming up? Fine. I'm going to switch to another deck. What's going on with you? I think you guys are having a hard time like making up your mind about something. Might have something to do with a main male in your situation. Maybe, maybe there's somebody that's kind of running the show that's causing complications. Maybe there's a main male that's factoring into this question of should I go on this trip or not. Maybe you're the main male, you're the main breadwinner, you're the one financing the trip. You're thinking about if you really should be doing this at this time. I don't know. Interesting. Okay. Let's try this again. Showing travel expansion. Okay, thank you, Kipper. Oh, okay. All right, let's see. Let's look at this next one here. Your career, your public relations, your public image, how people are going to view you. Okay, I can't believe what I was just saying about travel. A very travel oriented card came up there in the reverse. I can't wait to go into that. There's something interesting happening with you calling off a trip. Okay, let's see. Let's look in the area of friends, community. Okay, all right. And let's look in the area of karma, hidden enemies. Ooh, God, is that spicy as fuck? You guys aren't playing around. You guys aren't playing around coming into 2023. Ooh, you're playing the long game, man. You're playing the long game. Okay, let's dive into this. I'm excited. Truly wild card read for you. Okay, so that lets me know right off the bat, nothing is set in stone for you right now before we even dive into looking at the cards and just getting a download just about you, your energy, which is what we're going to be opening with anyway. But before I look at that card, I want to just get the download in. I feel like it is a very wild card year for you. I think there is this piece that you've been grappling with that has to do with control, realizing that you don't really have any control over what happens. You've been doing a lot of work about um, the best way to move through these experiences that are kind of challenging for you. Maybe you're used to having control and it's something that you had to really surrender and it's been difficult for you, but you've been doing the work. I feel like you've been doing a lot of work around just detaching yourself, not taking things so personal, not jumping to conclusions, and also staying really connected to your truth and not allowing yourself to be swayed by people's positions or what you have to say. I do feel like there's a lot of elements in play in your life that you're kind of waiting to see how things are going to pan out. And it's a wild card energy. It's like anything could happen because you're dealing with people that, one day they're heading in one direction and the next day they're off somewhere else. Like there's this unpredictable element in play. And I think that the more that you can kind of just play it loose, not get sort of hitched to any set plans and just flow with your life organically in 2023, the better off you're going to be, Cancer. Okay. Now, in the U position, look at this. I was talking about a journey. Okay. That came up. There's several significators here. There's something significant about a trip, a journey getting cut off, called off. This is the Six of Swords. Okay. It's coming up in reverse. I'm going to turn it upright. All right. So normally this is moving away from problems, moving away from issues. I feel like you're still working some stuff out in your situation. And it has everything to do with that initial download that came in. This is where you're going to be at. You're going to feel that things are not settled yet. You're going to feel like things are very open ended. You're going to feel like there's still stuff that needs to be resolved and it's just kind of left hanging there and it's holding you up. It's holding you up from moving forward. We do know that because it's swords, a lot of this has to do with the mind, though, so there's that piece about the more that you can really work to relinquish control in 2023. And Ted just shook his head, yes, the better off you're going to be. The more you'll find that the way frees up for you and that you can turn this energy around and move it forward. I also see that there was a situation that you had moved away from, and you're kind of like doing a U-turn. You're going back. You're going back because you feel that there's still things that need to be tended to. This is something that has continued to bother you. It's weighed heavily on your heart. It's weighed on your mind. You may have even been up at night, unable to sleep because you just have been so in your thoughts about needing to say things that you didn't get to say, just needing to have a proper communication, a proper closure in this situation. The thing is that we can't always get closure from other people. We have to sometimes create it for ourselves. And it's amazing what happens the moment that we just like let go. We just let go and trust that if there wasn't that communication or there wasn't that closure the way you've envisioned it, that it either wasn't the right time for it or it's not what was meant to happen. And there's a lot of things around that that you may not understand. You may never will, but you do need to be able to like free yourself from holding the mental space from it. So you're not stuck back in the past and things that happened back then. You may have dealt with a lot of projection in your life. You may have dealt with a lot of unhealed people who kind of projected their trauma on you and you got to play out your trauma through them because you were always the nurturer, you were always the one who cared to, tended to, in some cases, mommied, you know. And that can apply whether you're a man or a woman, okay? It's that energy, holding that energy of that mama energy, very nurturing, protective in a nurturing way, soft, loving, comfort, I see that this is kind of where you're going to be at. You're reviewing something, you're going back around to review something. But it's all about you resolving it and being able to be in a place where you can finally like let it go and move forward freely. I also feel with the journey that came in, that with that message that kept popping in your shuffle, I think this is also about a trip getting canceled. And with the Six of Swords, they're, traveling over water. So this could very well be like some kind of cruise. You decide not to go on this cruise. You decide to pull out of it for some reason, or you're planning a trip maybe to an island, somewhere near the water, and you decide to call it off. There's something that makes you change your mind. There's something significant about this trip too. It may be in connection with wanting to revisit the past or revisit a relationship from your past that you feel like you need to have some kind of face-to-face closure with. You change your mind about it. Okay. It's coming for very much forward, very much forward. Some of you moved. You moved to a new place and it felt right at the time, but you're deciding you want to go back home, and some of you may be moving back home. That's another message coming in there, all right, for you and where you're at. Now, we did open up with talking about like when we were laying this card down, when we were shuffling, we were talking about your money, the bag, and a piece came in about maybe needing to find out where the leaks are in the finances. 2222 on the clock when I said that. This is an important building block for you moving forward into 2023. You want to start looking more at like where your money's going to. Those little things that you normally don't think about that are actually like really creating a potential hemorrhaging situation in your finances. It seems like it's just a little bit here and there, but if you really go over your finances and look like how much you're spending on your coffee out, how much you're spending, just grabbing takeout instead of making something at home. If you really go over your finances, you'll realize how much you are spending on shit that you don't really need to be spending your money on. And in fact, some of these things you're spending your money on are moving you further away from your goals. Some of you may seriously have like a shopping addiction that you need to look at. You cannot get off Amazon. You're buying things on credit. You're buying things with money that you're using in advance. You haven't even received the money yet. You just trust it's coming in and you're, putting yourself in debt. There's something that needs to be transformed in the area of finances. In some cases, I would say be on the lookout for somebody who could try to take advantage of you financially, a false person coming around you. If you're thinking of going into business with somebody, if you get any read on someone that something just doesn't seem quite right, you have questions, like question that. I don't recommend it. There's somebody that could take advantage of you financially or want to, but if you really invoke, this could be Capricorn, because I did bring Capricorn and that experience into your reading. I said you could be potentially dealing with a Capricorn or a Gemini in your situation. It's interesting because in this particular card, both are working each other. Like the devil is working one angle, but this masked woman is, working another. So there's some kind of peace here. Finance. I just got like somebody likes to hit the strip club a lot. Okay. They like to hit the strip club a lot. It's costing them a lot of money, it's costing them a lot of money. And they've even, look, there's like these spiders up here and I get like these weaving of webs. So they're even lying about it. It's become somewhat of an addiction. Not only is it costing them money, it's causing problems too. How did that get here? This might have something to do with somebody who has a V in their name. What the hell? Wax stripping. Just was there underneath the card. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but that's interesting. Yeah, there's something about covering up how much money is being spent too. Maybe you're dealing with a partner, they got a shopping habit. Maybe you've agreed on some kind of budget and they're straying from that, but they're covering it up. There's something about receipts. Like you need to go over your receipts. You need to, if you got an accountant that you hire, you know, question some things or look into some things. So there's some piece here about being more hands-on with what's going on with the finances and really looking at what's happening there. Okay, because there's something problematic here with the devil. There's something that ain't right, okay, and needs to be addressed. But I feel like a big part of it for most of you is you have some unhealthy habits when it comes to spending, and you're spending more than you realize you are. You may be doing shop therapy instead of really issue is, and maybe it's time to look at a new way to cope, a healthier way to cope, maybe deal with the issue and stop spending so much money just to try to fill the gap. You may be feeling kind of empty inside, and so you go and you buy a bunch of shit to try to make yourself feel better, but it's not fixing anything. Like what you're feeling inside has nothing to do with these material things, and you're driving yourself into debt. It's not having a positive effect. So there's some piece here to look at, some behavior to transform in the area of finances in 2023. Don't spend money you don't got. That's the first thing. Cut off the credit cards, man. There's something about this. You're going to want to be prepared for the future with your finances, all right? In communication, I see that you are waiting to hear from somebody. You're hoping to hear from somebody. You're wanting this communication. It's like wish fulfillment for you. And again, I feel like that goes back to how you opened up, right? Coming back around to revisit something from the past. I do see you're going to get your wish with the 9 of Cups. Okay. If you've been really hoping to hear from somebody, have that communication, that heartfelt communication where you can get those things off your chest that you've held in for a long time. I see it happening. It's going to take place. Okay. You may have to wait for a bit though. And the thing that's going to be a challenge for you is to not push the river. Like if somebody's not ready, if they're needing space, you need to give them that space. You need to give them time, because there needs to be a certain level of like readiness before this communication can happen and have it be a healing experience. You don't want it to create further division. All right. So just give it some time, but there does seem like there is some kind of healing communication that gets you on the same page with another. I also hear coming in that you're going to get some really good news. It's something you've been waiting for. This might have to do with a home. You're really excited, you buy a new home. This is something coming in. And you're really happy with where you set down new roots. This coming in very strongly for somebody, but this is just definitely like wish fulfillment. And you may be wondering, like, am I going to get wish fulfillment? You're going to get some kind of communication comes in that affirms for you that things are turning in your favor. It makes you very happy. Okay. And there could be a home connection. It also could be connected to somebody you're wanting to hear from that you had a falling out with. You're wanting to have a positive exchange and heal that relationship, even if it is just to close it on a positive level. And I see you getting your wish. You're going to get that communication you're wanting. Now, in the area of home, it's interesting because everything came up in reverse. We got the Lovers in reverse. We got the 10 of Swords in reverse. And we got the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. This is really, your read is very interesting in that it's really seeming to build off of each section, feeds into the other, each house and the messages that have come forward are clarifying what's coming up in the next house. It's really interesting, but we see that there's somebody you're wanting to reconnect with. We have the Lovers here in reverse. Okay. Look, this swan, I'm going to turn it upright so you can see. This swan has a letter in its beak. Okay. And it's about the details. Okay. With that mouse energy there. I just got read between the lines. I think you're going to hear from this person that you had a falling out with. It very well could be an old love with the Lovers. It is like a soulmate kind of card. Um, it could be any close connection, though, really. I feel like a choice was made in love. A choice was made in love, and you're questioning that choice now. Maybe you're wishing you'd made a different choice in love. Um, there's some piece here of you looking back at the past and wanting to hear from somebody or wanting to reach out to somebody. I feel like there are going to be some kind of messages coming in. I do feel like there is going to be this communication. There's this piece though with that mouse energy to read between the lines, like look at the details. Um, Go beyond what's just being expressed. I see like this person could have a tendency to really know how to spin their words to, you know, create this sort of fantasy. You're susceptible to this. You need to be mindful of this, especially with it coming up in reverse. This could be manipulative, kind of energy. This person may have an effect where they cause you to doubt your choices. They're really able to talk you into something that you might not necessarily feel is in your best interest, and actually puts your security in a compromising position with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. I do see this as you've been down this road before with the Ten of Swords coming up in reverse, but instead of you giving yourself, here's the control piece again. Instead of giving yourself over to the experience and letting it go, you keep reopening the wound. And there's this, I'm going to turn it upright so you can see, it's causing delays in the beginning of your new cycle for you by continuing to look back at this thing. It's keeping you stuck. And if you're dealing with this in a current relationship, okay, where you can't forget about something they did. It's like really just on your mind and it's creating problems in the relationship. There might be a need to like communicate. This could have been something that happened on a trip that really bugged you, it just really, it rubbed you the wrong way. It showed you something about this person that you hadn't seen before. And there's something that needs to be resolved there, there's a need for communication. But either way, you got to like close this old cycle. You got to, get this energy. You got to turn it upright and give yourself over to it. Stop trying to like hold on so tight to what happened. It's a control mechanism. Okay. It's a control mechanism, and it's like really holding you back from that light getting through. The wound is where the light gets in. So there's some, maybe it's resentment you're holding on to, like the pain of what happened. You can't let it go. I understand. Sometimes people behave badly. What can you do? What can you do? All you can do is have control over your own choices and what you tolerate. So maybe that's what the more of the issue is that you haven't been able to see, is that it's about your choices. You don't need to stick around for that. And yeah, it's going to hurt. It may hurt for a while, but it's about you clearing that energy out for yourself by accepting that this is what happened. This is what happened. And now I want to get to the other side of it. I don't want to hold on to it anymore. So I do feel like, there might be a need to revisit, to also release a grudge, release some resentment. Maybe you held it in, and this is what's preventing you from moving forward. Once you communicate it and you have your release, you'll, be able to really turn that energy around and move forward. It's interesting for this to come in because 2, 3, 4. Right after that, we're looking at the area of romance, okay? And earthly pleasures, creativity, and you have infinity coming up here. It's just more of the same story, okay? You have infinity and it's in reverse, okay? So this is very much showing that you're not on the same page as somebody. You know, romantically, something's off. There's just something that's just not syncing up the way you want it to. This is about not being so sure if you like the direction things are heading in romantically. Okay. I think also just like in general, in the area of just pleasure, going out, having fun, being social, things feel kind of lackluster to you right now. You're not really feeling anything's in sync with you. Maybe you're feeling a little off. You feel like you've gone through a lot of changes over the past few years and you're not sure like what you're seeing is anymore. You're not sure what you even enjoy doing anymore. Maybe you've really kind of been busy doing a lot of work and kind of holding things down. Maybe you've been dealing with a lot of stress. Maybe there's been a lot of upheaval or a lot of loss, and this is kind of just taking your focus. It's sort of drained all the pleasure out of life. Maybe life's been a drudgery. Maybe there's a need to bring more attention to this, like just starting to call pleasure in for yourself, maybe allowing yourself to have more simple pleasures. Maybe you've been working too hard. You need to give yourself more opportunity to take breaks and give back to yourself in 2023. You know, there's this piece about you need to maybe put your needs first for a change. You need to shift this up in 2023 instead of putting everybody else in front of you. It's causing a lot of resentment. I feel like resentment is something you're going to be transforming in this next year, something coming in pretty strongly for you, but it's really about you becoming empowered and recognizing that it's your choice. It's your choice to kind of like put down your foot and draw the line and be like, okay, I want to give, but I want to give from a place where it feels good to give, not like I feel like I'm being in position. If you're in that space, then something needs to change there. So I think that, big key to you just finding more pleasure and also tapping into your creativity too is to create space for yourself, space to daydream and do nothing, space to take a nap, space, go out for a walk or go for a hike or, just to listen to your favorite music or, just do what you want to do, go and get pampered, whatever. There's a need for you to put more of what you need to feel fulfilled first, at the forefront. And that will change. I think you need to rediscover the enjoyment. Maybe it would be good to take up something creative and explore that aspect of yourself, tap back into that aspect of yourself. This will also put you in touch with your sensuality again. Maybe what you desire on a sexual level is shifting, changing. You're exploring that, you're figuring that out. All of these things kind of coming forward for you in that area in 2023. Now, in areas of work and routine, I love that you got this here. It came in as a crossing influence. You got happiness. And I see where things have been like the same shit, different day, monotonous, kind of bland, you've been sort of bored with life. It's just felt kind of routine. There's something that comes in that gives you like this bright pop in your life. It's like suddenly you feel a sense of enthusiasm. There's something you're excited about. I feel like it's coming in for you in the form of an opportunity, and that's why it's coming in the crossing direction. This is an opportunity for you to head in a completely different direction, and it's something fresh, it's something new. You feel inspired, you're excited about it. It gets you away from this daily grind. Maybe this is a new work opportunity, or this is an opportunity to move to a new locale. It brings in a whole new, community of people. It brings in a whole new trajectory on your life path that opens up all kinds of possibilities for you. Maybe you've gotten really bored of where you're living. You just want to shake off that energy and just go out and have a brand new experience. Maybe there's a lot of stuff that reminds you of shit you've been through with where you're currently living, and you're wanting to go somewhere where you don't have so many memories. You don't want the norm. You don't want to go where everybody knows your name. You want to go where nobody knows your name. Some of you are wanting that. You're wanting like a clean slate, fresh start. You're tired of the same old people, same old drama, same old situations. You want all brand new. There's an opportunity that comes through. But somewhere here, there's something that comes along and it presents you with a choice. You have to take this when it comes in. Okay. It's all about your willingness to step up to the plate and take the leap. But I see an opportunity coming in that's going to break up your routine, and it also shifts your work in some way. Okay. You're going to do something brand new in relation to work. Maybe you're going to work mobily. You're not going to be in an office anymore. Maybe you're going to do your own thing. This gives you a lot of happiness. It really makes you realize how much you were getting drained by, sort of the rut you were in before. Your whole routine gets shaked up and everything's brand new, but it's in the best way. So that's really cool to come through there. Now, in the area of partnerships, serious commitment, this came in as a crossing influence. You're having some challenges in your relationships. Okay, we got the kiss up here. This is telling me you may be in a situation where there's kind of an imbalanced dynamic, and it's around money, it's around finances. Maybe you feel like somebody is just in the relationship for their financial stability, that maybe they just kind of kiss up to you and play nice with you, and are affectionate towards you because they're looking for like a sugar daddy, or they want to be a sugar baby. Maybe they're looking for a sugar mama. This could also be you're in a situation for the stability of it. And that's more the focus is about the stability. It's not so much about the passion. You may feel like somebody did something that really like hurt you too. We saw that back here, that somebody really disappointed you. You may feel like they come around and now they're splashing a bunch of money all over the place. They're really, treating you well and buying you gifts. Maybe you bought a gift for somebody because, you kind of stepped out of bounds. I don't know. It can pick what side you're on. This could be something coming up in 2023 here as an overarching theme. But there's somebody like using money as a way to kiss up in a situation, or like, here, let me make it better. I bought you this thing, or there's some kind of compromise in relationships where money seems to be the factor. It's playing too big of a role in the relationship. I think this is something you're going to be looking at, just understanding motives. What are your motives in relationship? This could be somebody asking you to invest, become like a silent partner, I thought, in their business. This is somebody that you're close with. You have a close relationship with them. You may feel like this person is inexperienced, like they don't really have what it takes. This might feel like kind of compromising arrangement to come into. You might be worried about how it affects the connection long term. There's some peace about this coming in. There's some deals being done, though. There's some deals being done. It centers around money and somebody using money as a way to like have the power in a relationship, or somebody, putting on airs, 44 on the clock when I said that, because they want, they want the money. Compromising arrangements here, okay? Compromising arrangements here, but be on the lookout for this, and start maybe questioning yourself about what role is money playing in your relationship. There is this like front and center piece here. some of you might be considering getting married, you know, just for the stability factor, um, making it more of a business arrangement. You know, really think about that if that's worth it. You know, it's not. If you get hitched, do it because it's true love, right? I'm a Libra. I can't help it. I have to be the optimist. There's true love out there. There is that time when eyes meet and souls collide, right? Go for the real deal, you know. Don't let it be just about security, right? Um, I think these are things you're going to be questioning. These are things you're going to be questioning, and it's interesting when it comes to sex. Um, occult, the transformation, deaths, you know, we got heart here, and the heart is coming up as a crossing influence. And so I feel like there's been a lot of thorns, you know, there's been a lot of thorns in matters of the heart, you know, those painful experiences that, yeah, you got a lot out of them. Like they cracked your heart open. You had a lot of growth because of the painful relationships you've been through in love. It's kind of ignited your spiritual growth, you know, going into these deep, heavy places, you know, in matters of the heart. And I think that you've also found a lot of connection in that way, but it may have been through people that were more sexually motivated and you wanted a real deep connection and they were more sexually motivated. At times, this was really painful for you because there were multiple people involved. So to you, it felt it felt like thorns. You know, you tried to be open. You tried to be open with, you know, the fact that somebody wants more. They want to explore sexually, but this could be painful for you at times. I feel like you're going through some kind of transformation in matters of the heart, and it relates to sex and what you need sexually to feel satisfied. Also, you know, what you want that bond of intimacy to look like, you know, what you want that experience to feel like, not wanting it to be so much pain. For some of you, you've explored kink, you know, involving pain for pleasure, you know. You may have gotten into a little BDSM or, you know, some powder puff play, you know. This might be something you're exploring. You might be exploring this as a way to kind of burn through some of the pain that was inflicted upon you through trauma, ironically. Uh, Ted just said, yes, okay, like you're transmuting this energy through that to transmute the pain into a source of pleasure. This is, you know, I bring all the messages in, okay? This is somebody's journey. You might be exploring this. I got rope play, okay, coming in pretty strong on that. This is an adult channel, okay? I've made that very clear, but that's coming in really strongly. Somebody's doing some exploration in this area. Um, I feel there's something happening sexually though that creates transformation. It transmutes pain. You might be having some sexual healing, baby. Might be good for you, Cancer. Okay, so I see you really focusing on this. You might also be looking to take it to like a higher level. You might be looking, because Scorpio, the house of Scorpio, it's deep, man. So you might be looking at exploring Tantra. You might be wanting to, you know, learn how to work with these energies on a whole different level. You might be wanting to explore a tantric routine. I almost maybe you want to make it a daily practice, but I was gonna say retreat. Okay, maybe that's why the journey in reverse. Like, no, we don't need to go out to find that. We don't need to go and travel to travel. We got it all in here, man. We're gonna do it through our sexuality. Okay, so that's interesting. Now, with travel, expansion, and spirituality, you got courthouse. So, what I'm getting around this is there might be something legally that comes up that makes it so a trip has to be called off. Maybe somebody doesn't have proper documents. Maybe somebody is going through a divorce, and so they're tied up in that. They're not able to go off and travel. There might be somebody involved in some kind of court case that's keeping them here, you know. There might be some kind of legalities around that, around why somebody is not able to travel, or maybe not able to meet you on a trip. Something, you know, holds things up. Um, they're tied up. They're tied up, and there's some kind of legalities involved. There might be something going on that, you know, if you booked a trip where something happens with the business that you booked the trip with, something goes flat, you know. Maybe they got some kind of legal issues. Trip gets called off. I pick that up really strongly. There's some trip, it's an important trip, and it's something you've been planning for, but it gets called off. It doesn't happen. And it's related to legalities. I get like somebody's stuck in court, you know, there's court proceedings around something. This is taking up the time and energy. And that's coming in pretty strongly. You might also have to travel to help support somebody in a court issue. You might need to be a witness, okay? And one more piece coming in, this could be that you get on the same page with somebody and you rush off and you do a destination wedding. You get married when you're on a trip with each other. So this piece too, but there's legalities and travel intermingled, okay, in 2023 for you all. And it even is number 23, so even stronger message there, okay? Then in your PR, career, image, and brand, look, journey in reverse, okay? Journey in reverse. This is something that was supposed to be a new beginning, but it doesn't happen. And it looks like there's legalities involved around that, okay? Something coming in about legalities involved around that. Somebody's not going to be able to take a trip because there's something tied up legally that creates interference in that process, all right? Looking at friends and community, here's the gift, okay? So remember back here, you had this thing related to work and your routine that was going to shake things up in a happy way. This is going to come from a friend. I feel like there's some friend that's reaching out and giving you some kind of opportunity. And there's something about this that brings a lot of happiness to you. It's like a way through. Maybe you didn't think you had options. Maybe you didn't think that you would have a way forward, and a friend reaches out to you. They present you with a way forward. This could have, all right. This could have to do with a move. You know, it's interesting how that will pan out. I think you have some important choices to make, because it might even be they might offer you the gift of a trip and then you change your mind. You pull out, maybe because you hear about some legal troubles coming up for this person. There's some peace about this coming in for you, though. But do look for some kind of significant offering to come from a person in your friend group, you know, in your community, and it gives you some kind of opportunity to move forward. It's a gift, okay? There's also the piece here of, I think your community is going to recognize how much you give, you know. I think you're going to feel appreciated. I feel like you're going to get your flowers, you know. You don't realize what a gift you are to so many people's lives. Maybe that hasn't really been recognized. And I feel like in 2023, there's more acknowledgement of this for you. And it's so perfect, like the way this closes out, because we got karma, hidden enemies, and evolution, the blind spot, and you got pathway coming up as a crossing influence. So this is it. Your karmic work is to finally step out of the crossroads, okay, and choose your path in 2023 and go toward the light. Look where this path leads. It goes toward the light, all right? So you're definitely really important. I believe it has to do with somebody you're very close to. This is a soulmate, all right? Whether they're a friend, a lover, there's a past connection, and there's something that needs to be resolved here, and that's going to be like your central focus. That's going to be your karmic work as we close out the year. And I just want to get wish fulfillment. Closing the cycle brings wish fulfillment, bottom of the deck energy, all right? Let's go ahead and just get a theme card for you, all right? For 2023. Yeah, you're closing the cycle with somebody. For some of you, this could have been a unicorn, okay? This could have been somebody who was like a third party in your relationship. I see this could have been agreed upon by partners, right? Maybe you had an open relationship with this person. It was 55 on the clock when you said that. When you said that. What? When I said that. Sometimes my channeling comes through. I mean, this might have been somebody that, there was an open arrangement with in the past. Maybe you were the one who said that. Maybe you proposed the idea, like it's okay for things to be open. I think that you decided that that wasn't what you wanted anymore. You don't want things to be open anymore. You want to focus on one person. You're changing this. You're moving away from this kind of lifestyle. Maybe you have to come back around and sort of revisit this situation, and then you're changing your mind. You're like, you know what? That worked for me at one time, and I felt, like it was something that I enjoyed, but now I'm wanting something more stable in my life. There's a lot about wanting stability, really wanting stability in your life. I think this is somebody too that you had a connection with, that you realized they had their place and time in your life, but it's really time for you to let that go because it's causing interference in you really moving toward your happiness, and you're ready to move toward the light. Maybe you had to go back and do some shadow work around this person. You had some things to release around this person. There was a healing needed. And that was a beautiful gift, right? Friends, community. That was a beautiful gift that came through for you. It's a beautiful gift that will come through for you in 2023. I say it came in because it's already here. It's just about you stepping into it, okay? But I think that you're going to choose to, it's okay. I revisited that. I'm ready to move out of like that death energy. I'm ready to step back into the light. And I'll always think fondly of you. I'll always think of the times we shared and, hold that, cherish that in my heart. But I'm ready to let this go, and I'm ready to step on my new path. And there's something really beautiful that comes through this, really beautiful that comes through this. I think you might be giving up trying to change this person too, with that 23 there. That's like something changes radically. Maybe you used to try to control this person. They were free spirit, they wanted an open relationship. You always wanted to try to get them locked into a commitment, and you're realizing that's just who they are. And I either have to love them as they are, or I have to like let that go. And I think you tried to meet them on their level for a while, and it can sync up for you, and you're finally releasing it, but not with any negativity. You're releasing it, from that place of love, which is really beautiful. All right. So looks like an important year, very important year for you. A lot of integrative work, a lot of healing work. I can see that you've been doing the work. Just do what you need to do to clear this energy so you can set your new foundation and your sights forward on that light and step into it so you can realize what a gift you are to this world.